I am so glad that we have all these greens out in our yard. I love bringing in the outside for Christmas. I just gathered this boxwood. I'm working on my dining room this week, and it's a great excuse too to do all this dusting. This mantelpiece is really tall, and I hardly ever get up to the top of it. And also take out the screen windows and put down the winter storms. It just helps me remember to do all that stuff. My little girl and I are getting ready for St. Lucie Day next week. We're making her a crown out of this foam mold and these battery powered candles. So we worked pretty hard on that this week and we're pretty excited. I think this is the best one we've ever done. Most years it's really hard to keep it on her head. It's going to be on her head, but I tried it on mine just to see. So I decided to go all out on my mantle this year. This mantle is really ornate and dark wood and very Victorian, I feel like. And so I just decided to go with it. I got some red tartan ribbon and some gold ribbon as well. I've got cedar and boxwood from my yard. And I just looped the ribbon around as many shiny things as I could find. I've got candlesticks and a shiny ice bucket and these shiny gold plates that we have collected at thrift stores over the years. I think they look really nice up there. I think they go really well with the sort of ornateness of the fireplace. This fireplace, obviously, it's not a working fireplace anymore, but it still has this beautiful mantle. So I threaded these ribbons on, and then I felt like it just needed a little bit more. And so I grabbed some spray paint I had. It's champagne gold, I think it's called. And I decided to try spray painting some of these greens that I had. Now, it was sort of an impulse. So I'm actually in my robe, in slippers here, but it didn't get on my slippers or robe. But later I did change to a painting shirt. And so I spray painted some gold, and then I also had some chrome left over from the bathroom, and I spray painted some of these chrome as well. And then I decided to stick them up there with everything else. And I also got out some of my Christmas tree ornaments and started to incorporate them into the design. I got out my little nutcrackers, and I just looked for things that felt like they made sense with kind of a Victorian mantle scape, I guess. I got this little red bird and some shiny baubles and a little spray painted pine cone. I'd like to get some more of these and spray paint them gold. I'm going to have to go collecting. There's a tree I know that has them near us. And then I decided to hang some ornaments off of the mantle as well. I had a lot of fun with that. I'm getting ready to have a dinner party, and this is our everyday tablecloth, but it's very Christmassy, and I just ironed it, which I normally wouldn't do, but that makes it a little more festive to have a nice crisp ironed tablecloth. I'm really glad we're having this dinner party because it kind of just puts me in mind to get some stuff done for the holidays. I also finally replaced the batteries in a couple of our smoke alarms. Feel like this is a great time of a year to do that. I've let it go and I finally got the right batteries and got them in there. And then I noticed that some of the bulbs had burned out in my kitchen chandelier, so I just hopped up there and replaced them, and all of a sudden my light was so much brighter. I was so happy. I think Advent is a great time to get these little niggling homekeeping tasks out of the way. I was inspired to stick some boxwood up there too. I will be decorating the kitchen another day, but I got a little head start on it. My mother got rid of her wedding china and she asked me if I wanted it, and I said yes, I did. I actually have my grandmother's set, so now I have my grandmother's set and my mother's set, and this sideboard belonged to my great grandmother. And so I've got my grandmother, my great grandmother, and my mom all with me for the holiday season. And for this dinner party, I decided to just go all out and have fun and use a mix of all of their china and my china. And I have this extra Advent wreath. We have our Advent wreath in the living room, but I had this extra wreath form. So I made another centerpiece for the table. And then I set the table with my mom's china And her silver, we actually used my grandmother's silver as our everyday silverware recently. So this is my mom's. She has this beautiful box for it. I don't have a nice box like this for my other set. But I thought it would be fun for our friends just to do a little fancy. I don't want to do a lot fancy because I feel like it's intimidating even for me, but to do the nice china with kind of the everyday tablecloth, I feel like that works and kind of makes it friendly and easygoing. I use these white napkins that I inherited from my great aunt. So I've got all the lovely ladies of my family kind of giving me a big warm hug for this fun Christmas dinner or dinner party, not Christmas dinner, but that we're going to have. I love my grandmother's glassware. I hardly ever use it. It's very delicate. My mom has a clear memory of accidentally breaking one of these once when she was a child and her mother crying, but it's so pretty. I understand why she cried. I really do. A couple years ago, Anthropology was selling glassware that looked just like this, and I thought, oh my goodness, it's just like my grandma's. It's so, so pretty. I just love that etched glass, and I love seeing it with my great aunt's napkins and my mom's china and silver. It's so great this for the holidays, just to remember everybody. Here's the table all set up. I set it up in advance so the day of the party we can just relax. I love to do things in advance. I really have gotten on the Ina Garten's, the Barefoot Contessa's. She's big into making things ahead, and I love that way of doing a dinner party. So here it is all set up a couple days in advance. It can just sit here staying nice and tidy. I had to look up make sure I was doing the place settings correctly. So we've even got a dessert fork and spoon, very, very fancy. We're doing a Belgian meal. That's why everyone has a beer glass. And I even made a teeny little Advent wreath for the fun table, aka the kid table. We always used to call it the fun table. And even they are going to use the fancy china. And here is my Victorian Christmas mantle all decked out for the occasion. So we are going to enjoy this little corner of Christmas in our house as we continue to prepare for Christmas this Advent season. Please let me know in the comments what you think of the Victorian Christmas look, what you think of doing dinner parties for Advent season, and let me know how you're slowly decorating and getting ready for Christmas. Without too much stress. Take good care of yourself, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.